Welcome back to weekly Black History Live at 9 p.m. with yours truly, Posha Malcolm. Tonight's question is: have you ever wondered what daily life was like for the millions of Africans who survived the Middle Passage only to face the harsh realities of the plantation system? I'm going to put in the chat just a welcome and also just the preliminaries. Hope you had a wonderful day. It's raining where I am. I'm here in Mississauga, Ontario, and it is raining. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I would love to know. And that's my membership. If you're new to my channel, please check out my videos and subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate that. RJ, welcome. How you doing? Welcome. Hope you had a good day. Is it raining where you are, like me, where I am? I am doing well. RJ says he's doing well. I don't know if you hear the thunder rolling, but I can hear from here. RJ said, yes, it's starting to rain. Yes, I think, different areas get it, but lightning, I saw lightning, yes. So I went on the road and coming back, the rain started to fall and I could see lightning and could hear the thunder rolling, and I was hoping that I'll reach home before it really came down, which I did. So I'm very happy about that. Hope you're warm and you're safe. I have my glass of water, but I'm going to be having some tea after. Don't know if it's going to be ginger tea or if it's going to be some sorcy tea, but I know I'm going to be having some tea to warm myself up. The quote of the day: injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And that is from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., civil rights leader, and we know him also well. Right, so my Black history is to create a content that inspire and motivate. And as usual, hi, peace, love, sunshine. How you doing? Hope you had a good day. I actually joined your live today. Yes, I didn't get to see everything because the reception on my side wasn't so good. But hopefully I'll get to partake of another live session. Yes. Is there a specific time that you have a live? Because I know you used to have it around 10, something like that. But if you have a specific time, let us know in the chat so we can join you at that time. And we have RJ saying peace, love, sunshine, hello, and peace, love, sunshine saying thank you. All right. So before we begin, I just want to let you know that this live is for informational purposes only. I'm on a learning journey just like you. I may not pronounce every word clearly, but what matters is uncovering the history lessons and inspiration behind these stories. And so again, I welcome you to another weekly Black History Live with Posha Malcolm. That's yours truly. Tonight we are taking you into the world of the Middle Passage, or after the Middle Passage rather, not just the labor, but also the resilience, the survival, and the resistance. Peace, love, sunshine says, I do not have a time right now. Okay. All right, so I look out for it. Peace, love, sunshine said the birds are starting to come back, so I'll be starting my morning lives again. Oh, that's so good. Yes, I know we missed that because usually it will pop up in my notification and then I would join. So if I don't see it in my notification or if I'm not on my phone at that time, I may missed it. But I will watch the replay. I'm a little bit ahead of how things were before. So this week is a breaking week for me. So I'm trying to finalize some things and then I'll have some more time to really focus on different channels. As all my subscribers, once they have a channel, I'll be tuning in. Yes, it may not be everyone in that same week, but I want to cover for the month, even one video or several shorts, right? So that's my objective, that's my aim. And RJ nice. All right. We often hear about slavery in terms of ships, auctions, plantations, but at the heart of this history are the people, mothers, fathers, children, whose strength and humanity shape the cultures and communities we know today. Peace, Love, Sunshine says, no worries about missing them. They are very sporadic, laugh out loud, and sometimes say, they don't say stay up or something like that. Yeah, but still do them, still do them. Another thing I wanted to find out because I was not sure if you're still on the road to monetization. If you're still on the road, I just want to put out to my members, right? So that they can tune in and watch the long form videos. Because most persons will watch the shorts. Like myself, I'll watch a lot of shorts, one after the other. But on the road to monetization, you also need long form videos to be watched. And if you're still on the road, then I'll push that for persons to watch the long form videos mostly. All right. So here we have, different, okay, you're nowhere close, but you're still not far behind, right? So we continue working on that. So what I can do is um, tune in more to the long form videos than the shorts. Your shorts, them sweet with the stories, so I'll do that. I know not just you, but a lot of persons that I know, they have lost a lot of hours. And I have been through that stage. I have been through that stage as well. I'm way, way, way far behind, especially when YouTube um, do some adjustments. Sometimes it can be affected. I know a friend who was so close, but she still was not because she still has not, even after some time, and I'm talking more than 1 year. So it has to do with the watch time. We know that's the hardest part of it. But as I said, I will push that. All right? We'll push that. I've been streaming for almost 3 years. So too, my friend. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we'll work on that. All right? We rally the team for that. Yes. 3 years. You're very close because you have all the subscribers, but it's just the watch time. All right, guys, so I'm making an appeal to please tune in to a long form video for Peace, Love, Sunshine. As she said, she has been around for 3 years streaming, and she was close, but things change, and so she's a bit far behind now. Let us help her to build her watch time. So every video that you watch to the end, it adds to her watch time. So if you have time, For example, you can listen, you know, most times is we dialogue a lot. Our Peace Love Sunshine community dialogue a lot. She talks a lot in her videos. So I'm under 1,000 now. Wow. So if you watch her video, you can watch it like when you're doing your chores, and you can listen to her when you're doing other things that doesn't, require you to be on the phone. Those times help. So we are going to work on that. All right. All right. Going back to tonight's program, in this episode, we'll explore what happened to enslaved Africans after they arrived in the Americas, the process known as seasoning, the brutality of plantation life, the laws that try to control every aspect of their existence, and the ways they fought back and preserved their dignity. So we'll just go into it now. Life on the plantation and beyond. Number one, seasoning. Peace of Sunshine says, rewatching my streams are also very helpful. Okay, yes, good idea. Yes, so whenever, even those that are in the past. So, what I always say, go to the playlist and just press all, play all, and it will go from one to another. So, say for example, you're doing an activity and you have the time to listen, you just press all and it will just go through as many as to the time that you have. But it works. The playlist, just playing the playlist, it does work. All right, so yes. And I'm like really thinking about putting something together for my community when it comes to YouTube, some of the things, because I'm a researcher. I research a lot. As my husband said, that's the best, like I'm very strong in that. And doing YouTube, I literally researched. I have not been practicing everything that I've learned, but I believe I have a wide knowledge of YouTube and how it works and so forth. And I'm hoping to put something together. The only thing, it may be in a PDF form, but creative. So you would send me your email, or you send me an email and I will send you back that PDF. I will send that PDF to you, all right, via email. That's the only thing. All right. Okay. So we are going to work on that. What is seasoning? After the Middle Passage, many Africans were subjected to a process called seasoning, a brutal indoctrination meant to strip them of identity and force compliance. What are these? Yes, I know it would be very helpful because when I was in Jamaica, um, one of my Jamaican friends that is a YouTuber, she has been in the same position as you, and I was giving her some tips and some understanding of, YouTube, because some people will do this, but that if they do something else, that will help even more. And I've tried some of those, and it has worked for me. So I believe, like her, not knowing those things, I believe a lot of persons may not know. And what I know would really help in their success with their channel. As I said, I'm not practicing everything that I've learned, but I'm going through a journey, a process. And with all the challenges that comes, I'm trying to maneuver everything and continue learning, continue growing, and helping my community too. Because I don't want to be the only one shining. That's that's not good. I want my community to shine as well. When one succeed, as the code for tonight says, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So if we all are in this and we all succeed, we are all successful. RJ says, speaking of the middle passage, I want to point out from last week's Black History Live is that the first Afro Puerto Ricans were free men from Spain. They were called liberatos. All right, so I'm going to. So the first Afro Puerto Ricans were free men from Spain. Okay, I'm going to look that up. So that is September the 23rd. So those are the Afro Puerto Rican were free men from Spain. Okay, they're called liberatos or liberatos. Liberatos. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. All right. Thank you so much for that, RJ. Right. And that's the beauty about history and about learning and all of that, that we can share what we know in our in this community, right? We can share and we can grow. So I'm glad that I'm doing it, a little bit out of my what I normally do on my life, but I believe that it is important, right? So I've embarked on, I think something is here. I've embarked on that journey of discovering more because I know, but I want to actually know more about what happened, throughout this period of time. And not just know it to, tell it like that. I want to be able to learn and to inspire others with what I have learned and what I have researched. I want others to be inspired by it. So I don't want to tell it in a way that is going to be damaging to anyone. It's supposed to be to help us to be better human beings to each other, to ourselves and to each other, right? So what is this seasoning? As we were saying, it's a brutal indoctrination to strip the enslaved people of their identity and force compliance. This also happened with the indigenous people, the first people of the land, right? So now they were given new names. So their African names were taken away. They could not call each other by their African names. They have to call them by their new name. Just like this young man, I did his shorts today, and they call him John Brown. He was born to an enslaved woman in Jamaica. The father was an enslaver, and he took the child and carried the child um, to America, and he married this lady, and this lady said, you have to name give the child your last name. You have to give the child your last name, for us to have this relationship. And he actually did. And his name was before John Brown. So they always say John Brown is when you don't have a name. John Brown, that was his name. And then the father put his surname to it because of that lady. And that lady actually helped him to go through um, high school and university and give him an education, right? Education. So everyone is not bad in terms of what has happened, to enslaved persons. Not everybody wanted it, but it was a system that came about for gain. So they were also beaten in submission, and we know about the lashes. We know about, I was looking at a picture of this man whose back was entirely, you know, out of sight. RJ says he is from Port Antonio, my grandpa's birthplace. Yes, yes, he's from Port Antonio in Jamaica. And the mother, they don't know who the name of the mother, but I know that he's from Jamaica. He went to America with his father. They settled in Maine, where he attended school, and then he became a part of the Pan African, which he actually left to go to Liberia. At the time that he formed a colony and society, a colonist society with persons who were enslaved in the Americas, in America. So they went back to Liberia. And after his death, then they actually, that colony became a part of Liberia. So that's basically, in a nutshell, his history of, his life. But he was born Jamaican. So was his mother and his father. Yes. There's so much. I tell you, doing this shorts on Black history, I've learned about so many people. Sometimes I don't remember all of them by name, but it's pretty interesting what has taken place and the impact that persons have had on, the whole evolution of Black history. Even until this day, I went to Women Conscious Economics, and there was a lady that helped for us in Canada to have Black History Month. She was at the meeting, right? So it has been a revolving, it has been a revolving, a process, knowing that you had nothing, you had everything, and then you was kidnapped and you had nothing, and from that nothing you gain so much, because what has happened is the wealth, what you have contributed to a country's wealth. Even though the plantation owners may have had the benefit of that wealth, you are also a part of that wealth, if not the major part of that wealth. So when you look at it, we can see a bigger picture than just, you know, what we see in our everyday life. It's so big, especially studying this Black history. It is real, it's so wide. It's so wide, probably big like the world. When you look at it. So it's a very interesting topic, and it's a topic that many times we try to be, well, for me, hi Cece. Absolutely thankful it's been so interesting, wonderful. I'm glad you're, here and you understand and you appreciate, because it's not, for some persons, it's not comfortable speaking about Black history. But then when you look at the different things that we celebrate and the different people that celebrate different things, why not talk about even the topics that are uncomfortable to talk about? We have to be mindful of what we say and all of that. But once we stick to facts, and once we stick to humanity, we supposed to be good, right? And this is a space that I want to for persons to be comfortable, not judging anyone based on their remarks or so, but trying for us to understand different opinions, yes, but also the facts and how we can change those facts. And as I said, we inspire and we motivate as we inform. And that is what I want from my Black lives, that we are left with inspiration as usual, right? All right, so there are actually 7 things that I wanted to talk about on the life on the plantation and beyond. So we talk about seasoning, that seasoning, you know, they changed the names, probably John Brown, common names that we know now, beat you into submission. So just like, you have a child and the child not behaving, you want to whip that child, but it's more severe than that. They taught the back-breaking work of sugar, tobacco, or rice and exposed to new diseases. So they were working very hard and they had to, but they were also exposed to new diseases. And we believe that those diseases were actually some of the diseases that um, annihilate the native people. They didn't have those resistance, right? Mortality rates were especially high in the Caribbean. I'm not sure the reason why. Number two, sale and family separation. This is probably one of the hardest part to deal with. At auctions, enslaved people were treated as property, just like you would own a book. You would own what else? You would own a phone, your possession. So they were treated like that. Buyers examined them like livestock. Families were deliberately torn apart to prevent resistance. So, even in that, remember, some of these persons may have been warriors. And now, to find themselves in this position, they would want to retaliate as they would normally do on the battlefield if they have to go to war wherever they are. So, resistance, this is one of the way that they dealt with it. Now, the third one is living conditions. Most lived in small, overcrowded cabins with dirt floors, like ventilation and minimal clothing. Food was rationed, like, basic, like probably corn meals from the corns, so it was really small amount and it was very inadequate. And let me tell you, my mom, whenever she cooked, she would normally give my father a lot of food because he was doing the harder part, or the, how would I say it? His work was harder than anyone else in the household. So my dad would get a lot of food to replace those energy that he was using up, So we know that they were working hard, but not getting their quantity of food that they needed to replenish those energy. Many had to grow or catch their own food to survive. Constant fear of separation hung over the family. And this was something that, you know, was to me the hardest part to deal with when you talk about, punishment. For work and labor, plantation work was relentless, 12 to 16-hour days planting, weeding, and harvesting cash crops, right? So they had to work hours that we would not normally work. When we work 8 hours, we're so tired. I know that I've worked 16 hours because since I've been doing YouTube, I have I think 2 times, 2 or 3 times, not sleep for 2 days. Yes. When you just focus and you just want to complete something and the thing not working with you. But I've learned to let it go and go back another time. If I can't put out a video, I just have to let it go. That's a part of it. But these persons could not let it go. They have to work the amount of hours. Number 5, violence and control. The entire system rested on violence and restrictive laws known as slave codes. These laws denied basic rights, restricted movement and literacy, and criminalized resistance. Punishments include whipping, shackling, branding, and even death. It's more gruesome than we are talking about it, but I'm not going to go into that part, especially tonight. Enslaved woman. Maybe I might read something sometime from someone who have actually experienced. So I'm not going to go into that. Enslaved women endured widespread sexual violence. Children born from these assaults inherited their mother's enslaved status. And persons have commented that this person is a white person when I do my shorts, because the person, have a light complexion. But they have to be mindful that the mothers are status is what they use to differentiate whether the person is enslaved or freed at that time. So when I look at it, I thought about many things, and I recognize that women have such value in society far more than we can comprehend. Far more than we can comprehend. So, women, big up yourselves. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. You are special. Very, very special. That society, even at that time, could identify that women are so special, that they were, the children were given their status. When we look at certain things, it RJ says, ladies, you guys are the stars of history. I tell you, you know, women, women are really special. They hold up the family. Yes. The men, they will go out and they will work. They'll come and they will bond and all that. But a mother, a woman, that feeling, they are in touch with your feeling. They are in touch with what's going on with you in every aspect of your life, right? And they have to deal with the money, they have to deal with the society, they have to deal with the educational system, and so forth. Not today, but yesterday, there was a lady that actually, when she was 13, she taught herself how to read and so forth. And when she was 13 years old, she was able, I think she got help in reading from her mother's friend. They're not supposed to teach them, but somebody taught her how to read. But when she was 13, she actually opened her first school. She started to teach persons. And then there was another lady who was in the World War, and she actually, while dressing, while taking care of the soldiers, that because she was in that black that black, I'm trying to remember the name, military group. It's not military group, but that batch of soldiers that was black, she was there to attend to them, and she actually taught them to read while attending to them. Taught them, you know, and even in slavery days, when the males are being punished, say that they are tied up and they can't eat, they're not fed or anything, the ladies would sneak out in the nights and breastfeed the male. Imagine that. Just for them to live and to keep going, they would do that. So women have been playing a mighty role in our society from way back, right? And we are proud of our women. And as we said, big up again to our ladies. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for also being in this community. Yes. Number 6, and we are down to the last two: resistance and survival. Yet, despite the brutality, enslaved people resisted daily. Some pretend to be ill, slowed work, or sabotage tools. Others escaped to maroon communities or in the US followed the Underground Railroad to freedom. And there have also been large scale revolts. We'll talk more about that next week. They also preserve their humanity through faith, music, and storytelling. Storytelling has always been a big thing in any culture. Secretly teaching children their heritage, spirituality became a source of hope and resilience, even up to this day. And the number 7, the psychological toll and the legacy. The trauma of enslavement was multi generational. Family separations, constant violence, and systemic dehumanization left deep scars. Yet communities built solidarity, spirituality, and hope despite oppression. And RJ says in America, the bear rabbit stories were told as a way to outsmart the slave masters. I'm going to look in that one. I'm going to look in that one. Interesting. All right. Yes, RJ. So CC knows that as well. So the bear rabbit. Okay, stories. All right, I'll look into that one. All right. And thanks for bringing it to my attention. It's always good to learn. I've learned so much since I've started this journey. Anytime. All right, wonderful. Now, I have 5 questions that I wanted to put across. So RJ says, CC, how are you doing? All right. And guys, Cece had her live last Sunday. Please check it out. It's very informative. The scenery is beautiful, and her babies went along with her. So it was good. Cece, I'm so happy for you. Even before I joined the live, I just saw the thing that says live because I actually just put my phone on your channel. So I thought it was earlier, but it wasn't. It was your time, not my time. And so when the thing says live, I just actually share it on my platform and let my sister know that you're on and and then I came on. I wanted to make sure I do all of that. So I'm happy that you have done your live. It was very good. It was very, very, very good. I was blessed by it. See, RJ says, CC says, I'm good, TY, RJ, TY, thank you. Got it. Thank you. RJ says, CC, I saw that movie. All right. And CC says, I saw it when I was little. You can't buy that movie here anymore. Which movie is it again? Let me see. Which one is it? Knights of Genevieve? Genevieve? Is it that one? I haven't checked it out yet. Song of the South. Oh, Song of the South. Song of the South. Okay. All right. All right. I'm go. There's a place. There's actually a place that do DVDs. I'm going to look and see if it's there. If they have it. If they have it there. All right. So I have 5 questions. I'm just going to see if we can finish it quickly, and then we'll just close off. So one, what was the seasoning process? What was that about? The seasoning process. You can tell me one word if you remember what it is. Name change. All right. That's a part of it. Yes. So it was the indoctrination so that, you know, they can break. So one of the ways they do is to do name change. All right, great. Number 2, name one major cash crop that enslaved people were forced to cultivate. What was one of those crops? Sugar cane, one of the major one. Sugar cane was expensive. It was very expensive. Number 3, what was slave codes? What was slave codes? You can use one word. They were to restrict blacks. Yes, they were codes that would control, that help to control them, laws that define enslaved people as a property and restrict their movements, education, and basic rights, right? So basically, it was laws that were put in place to control and and to control. Number 4, give one example of resistance by enslaved people. How did they push back? Give me one way in which they push back. And I said, I'm going to one of them. Sick. Yes. Yes. That's one of them. So they would either escape, slow down work. They had raids, and they, say they are sick, or they slow work, or those who were like maroons who were off, they would raid. Yes, they would do a lot of that. And they participate in revolts, you know, try to go against the enslavers. And the last one, why is it important to study life on the plantation and beyond? What's one reason? Think where we are, even beyond. So we reflect and don't repeat. That's the main thing, that we reflect and we don't repeat. It helps us understand the human cost of slavery, honor those who suffered and resisted, and see how its legacy still shapes society today. How it still shapes society. All right, so we have come to the end. The legacy of slavery endures today in systemic racism, stereotypes, and generational trauma. Understanding this history is essential to understanding the present. When we talk about plantations, it's easy to focus on the crops or the wealth they produced, but behind the wealth were millions of lives. People whose labor, culture, and resistance laid the foundation for so much of what we see in the Americas today. Their story is not only one of suffering, but of resilience and survival. Remembering this is an act of honor and a call to justice. And as we said before, if something affects one person, it will affect all the people. Thank you for listening to Weekly Black History Live with Posha Malcolm. If this episode moved you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it and subscribe so we can continue uncovering hidden history together. And RJ say, Portia, before you go, fun fact, there is a king of Afro Bolivians. I think I know about the Bolivians. Afro Bolivians. And Cece says, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, Cece. See you on Saturday night. I hope to see you even before that. Yes, so take care. And I'm going to check that out as well, RJ. Thank you again for being here. Peace of sunshine. RJ, CC, big up on yourself. Thank you so much for being a part of this live tonight. And RJ says, take care, CC. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful night. See you soon. Bye bye. CC says, you too, RJ.